Howdy folks, and welcome back. Have you ever looked around and thought, yeah, I'm smarter than everybody else in the room, and then went on to commit several felony-level offenses against multiple individuals, corporations, and probably the government? If you answered yes to any of these, then I have a game for you. Watchdogs, released in, oh Christ, 2014? I was a wee teenager. Alright, cool, didn't need that reality check today. Anyway, yes, the infamous Watchdogs, where you are the hacker extraordinaire Aiden Pierce, though I'm pretty sure he's more of a fixer, which I guess in this world is a whole-ass profession, and not just the guy you call to fix your sink. So, look, all cards on the table, I never played this game when it first came out. The only Watchdogs game I ever actually played was Legion, and when the first Watchdogs came to PlayStation Plus, I knew I had to give it a go and obviously get the Platinum. I'll get into specifics more and more, but let's just say I really enjoyed this trophy grind until I didn't. And anyway, with that foreshadow in place, there are 40 trophies up for grabs, so let's throw those up on the board and begin. We start off, like every good game from the early 2010s, with a gritty flashback that shows why we are now becoming an absolute public menace. In the case of Aiden, it's after a botched hacking job when a hit was then placed on him, which failed of killing him, and instead of him kicking the metaphorical bucket, his 6-year-old niece became collateral. So this is where we then take control of Aiden for the first time, beating the snot out of a man named Maurice. He was the trigger man for the botched hit job. Now, Maurice claims he has no idea who hired him and blah blah blah, but after a last-minute beatdown in total self-defense, we are awarded our first trophy, Hello World, for taking down Maurice. We're officially on the board, and there's no turning back now. There are 6 online trophies, and these are what made this just so damn frustrating. But don't worry, we'll talk about that one. Until then, I try my hand at my very first online tailing event, and for completing it without being detected, I'm awarded Stealth Cookie. You'll need to successfully do 10 of these for another trophy. And did my tailing suck? Yes. But did I still get the trophy and thus not care? Also yes. There are several trophies throughout Watchdogs that are just pretty easy to get, and that you'll get by simply playing the game. Bookmarked is one of these. It's basically as simple as tagging 100 enemies, and you'll obtain the next trophy. This next trophy is another online one. Now, I tried to get these out of the way as quick as possible, as this is a decade-old game, and I don't know how much longer the servers are going to stay up, considering this is Ubisoft, and we saw what they did with the crew. You know, one day they might just decide, we're going to kill the servers and wash their hands of it. Also, I just hate multiplayer trophies, so I'm always just trying to get them out of the way anyways. Superhighway requires that you complete 10 multiplayer races. I cannot stress this enough to you though, you don't actually have to win the race. You just have to complete it. When the first person crosses the finish line, you'll have 30 seconds to cross. If you cross, you add 1 to your total. If you don't cross, well, I mean, then it doesn't get added to your total. Come on guys, this is elementary school math. One of the big selling points to Watchdogs was that you could hack all the different infrastructure to get ahead. Well, Hard Crash requires you to perform 10 vehicle takedowns. I saw this was only able to be possible using the different infrastructure takedowns, but if you could just blow up the car using a grenade launcher for it to count, let me know. Now, these next 2 trophies were a 2-for-1 package deal. They were Family Man and Free Radical. So let's start with the easier of the 2, Family Man. This is awarded after completing the first of 5 acts within the game. Very easy, completely unmissable. Get your trophy, dust off your hands, and move on with your day. Free Radical, on the other hand, is a little different. You have to evade or escape a level 5 police chase. Now, you can tell what level you're at, as in the bottom right-hand corner you'll see little squares, so make sure that you have 5 before escaping. Now, getting level 5 isn't super easy. In the story, there are several points where you will naturally get a level 4 police chase, and that happens here in the last mission on the first act. You can try to do this in free roam. It's just going to be really hard, and you're going to have to basically tank your entire reputation. So wait till you get a level 4 naturally through the story, and then cause as much mayhem as possible. You do this by usually shooting back at the police officers, so, you know, there's that. Once you reach that 5th square, though, it's time to make a run for it. Doing so and properly escaping will lead to the acquisition of said trophy. Back in the online trophy hunt, Piggyback is acquired when you successfully complete 10 tails. Now, this is incredibly easy, as, at least in my experience, if someone knew that you were tailing them, they won't necessarily do anything because they themselves need you to finish the tail for their own trophy. There are an absurd amount of required side content and collectibles that you have to get for the Platinum, and I'll go through each one of them as we obtain those trophies. This first one, Clear Signal, comes after unlocking all the CTOS towers, giving you visual access to the whole map. At times, after committing a crime in broad daylight, such as shooting or carjacking someone, they'll rightfully call the police. Well, communication fail comes when you non-lethally stop the individual from calling. It's super easy. Just steal their phones. Do not shoot them. Okay, I'll admit it. This next trophy took me longer than I care to admit. I kept trying and literally just kept failing until finally I got it. Magic Smoke requires you to kill 4 enemies with 1 instance of focus. My issue was my focus just kept running out, and I'm also pretty bad with a controller, so yeah. It's time for another 2-for-1 trophy deal, but I'm going to keep you in suspense here for a moment. Not going to tell you which ones they are just yet. Throughout the game, there are several different investigation/collectible pickups. This first one I completed was the weapons investigation. There are 10 in total, and upon completing all 10, you are sent to another location to politely, but with extreme prejudice, wipe out the weapon traffickers. Upon completion, you're awarded the Saturday Night Special. But wait, I hear you say, wasn't there supposed to be a second trophy? Yes, I say to you, my very intelligent, beautiful, and/or handsome viewer. See, this second trophy is called Black Hat Trick, and it requires you to kill 3 enemies at once with 1 IED. It's easy to do, but a difficult setup. Throughout the game, you'll be given notifications to stop in-progress crimes. These are usually stick-ups or attempted assaults. They do have to be timed properly, otherwise you scare off the criminal, which also technically stops the crime, but, whatever. Complete 20 of these and you'll be awarded the Enforcer Trophy. Escape Loop is another one of those relatively easier trophies. This should happen naturally as you play the game, but in case it isn't, just cause problems and then run from the police. The trophy is awarded upon escaping 15 police chases. This next trophy was just kinda dumb, but hey, a trophy's a trophy. Hardware Fail requires you to pop the tires on 15 different cars. At first, I thought it had to be enemy cars, but nope, you just have to be a menace to the Michelin Man and shoot out tires until the trophy pops, no pun intended. Busting your own tires in a chase I don't believe counts though, so just FYI. As we progress through the story, we learn about a hacker known as Raymond Kenny, who we need to find to help us decode some files. Now, who is Raymond Kenny is awarded once you complete Act 2 in the story. And why is he important? Well, you just gotta play the game and find out. I'm not gonna give you all the answers, come on. Further into Act 3, we find out that a man known as Iraq has a data trove full of dirty and dark secrets on near everybody in the city, though Aiden at the time doesn't know this. What he does know is that he needs to access Iraq's database, as there's a clue on there as to who actually placed the hit on him. That clue being a distorted image of a woman with the name Rose Washington. Iraq's database, in theory, has the full, complete photo of whoever this person is, but in this case, little spoiler alert, it's a video. But we'll get into that later. So, this is connected in some way, shape, or form to the Merlot job, which is where our story began, and its bust led to Aiden having a hit placed on him. All of this is to say, at the end, we have to survive waves of enemies as Iraq taunts us before he himself comes out to play, and once we put him in the ground, we are then awarded 1 down, 1 to go for completing Act 3. Our next investigation comes in the form of human trafficking. This game, on its surface, seems like a fun action-adventure game, but oh my god, is it dark. And because of that, I kind of respect it. They do a good job of showing just how depraved people can be, the genuine concerns about internet privacy, and what the lust for power can do to somebody without ever going sort of over the top. I respect that. Anyways, back to human trafficking. This all started because the South Chicago Club was running a human trafficking auction with briefcases filled with the member list. Please keep in mind, this happened during the story in Act 2. Every member got one of these briefcases, and while Aiden busted a majority of the bidders at the, auction, a few did manage to escape. Aiden's now tracking down the last few. So this is sort of a two-part excursion. First, you find the individual out on the streets, and then you electronically break into wherever they were staying and ping/steal the fact that they had a briefcase. Once you complete all 10, you'll then hunt down the handler, and then it's as simple as dishing out some vigilante justice, escaping, and being awarded the trophy, Client Privilege Revoked. Scan Proof was a bit of a tricky trophy. You have to evade a level 5 scan, which means that you need to get to wanted level 5 and then get the scan. My recommendation is the same as it was for escaping a level 5 chase. Try to get to level 4 from a story mission. Escape because your level goes down gradually, not immediately, and then become an absolute menace. Just make sure you got CTOS blackouts and a fast car. Remember Maurice? The guy who tried to kill you. Well, he somehow left 8 burner phones around the city that, when picked up, actually talk a little bit more about his reasonings for taking the job on the hit of Aiden. For story purposes, it's incredibly interesting and did actually affect how I viewed Maurice. Just know that once you collect all 8, you get the trophy sanity check. Alright, time for another fun-filled investigation fit for the whole family. This one deals with missing and mutilated people. Yay! Isn't it just wonderful? Anyway, so around the map, you'll find these missing individuals wrapped up Dexter style, and besides each body is a serial killer's weird ramblings. He goes on about blood and whatever. To complete the investigation, you just have to scan the body. Once you actually scan all the missing people, the killer will call you and does that whole creepy thing where he breathes into the mic, but it's okay, he's dumb, and now we can track him. So you track him down, and then you put him down. Remember to add just a little bit of extra lead for safety's sake. Once you enact some more vigilante justice, you will be rewarded with Darkness Looms for, of course, completing the missing persons investigation. Within Watchdogs, there are 5 minigames: chess, poker, drinking game, shell game, and the slot machines. You simply need to do all 5 of these and you'll obtain the trophy Power Cycle. Now, you don't actually have to win, keep that in mind. You just have to simply play each one and you're golden. You will need chess and the drinking game for later trophies, though. The last and final investigation are the QR codes. There are 17 strewn across the map, and you have to basically line them up using camera feeds. Annoyingly, I don't actually have any footage for this, but you can find a bunch of it online if you don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, finish all 17 and you'll be asked to hack a potential DedSec recruit. Doing so will award the read-only trophy, but in my case, I also received They Call Him the Vigilante trophy for completing all 5 different investigations. Alright folks, we're getting to the end game now here. Act 4 had to be my favorite act. Not only do we get to figure out the reasoning for the hit on Aiden, but the way that the story goes about you finding out and what you actually get to do about it is just... it's wonderful. I had a whole bit here, but instead, I would just recommend you go play the game. It's usually heavily on sale for many parts during the year, and as of right now, it's free on PlayStation if you have a certain level of subscription. So, with that, after completing Act 4, you are awarded the Vengeance Trophy. Only one to go. Now the last act, Act 5. It was sort of all over the place. Your ex-partner has taken control of CTOS and is doing everything in his power to stop you and or kill you, while you try to upload a virus to basically kill the entire grid and pinpoint his location. Now again, look, I'm admittedly hiding a good bit of the story only because the game is currently free on PlayStation Plus, and there may be a lot of other people out there right now who haven't actually played Watch Dogs, and I don't see a reason to fully spoil the game. Obviously, videos like this inherently have spoilers, but I have the ability to be like, hey, let's maybe not do all of that. Anyway, that being the case though, once you complete Act 5, you will be awarded the Logging Off Trophy. It is now time to officially begin the cleanup portion of this video. First on the cleanup is the Peephole Trophy. There are 30 intrusions total that you have to complete, where you virtually intrude on a person's living space. This is not okay, but these can range from heartwarming to heartbreaking to just downright weird. More importantly, though, is when you finish them, you obtain that succulent trophy. And yes, I did use the word succulent. I don't care. Now remember, Aiden is the vigilante. So, I mean, he kind of reminds me of Batman if Bruce Wayne wasn't a billionaire and had none of those pesky morals about extrajudicial loss of life, but whatever. The point being, you gotta serve justice on the streets and take out a bunch of these gang hideouts. There's 18 total, and they appear at semi-random points, but once they appear, they stay on the map until you complete them. You go in, you knock out your certain target, you get rid of everyone else. Finishing all 18 awards you with the basest base trophy. Following that up, we're back with the online trophies. Now, this time, you have to successfully hack 10 people. This is a pretty frustrating task, if I'm being honest, because the one being hacked has a massive advantage in general. I'm not arguing and saying they shouldn't, they are the defense, but they just need to scroll over you while the profiler is out, and it'll ding you. They don't even have to hold it on you for any duration of time. It's just if the crosshair crosses over you, bam, you're found out, and even if you escape, that escape attempt will not add to your count. While this clip doesn't show it, one of the best ways I found to get around this problem was actually just by hiding in a car. Half the time the player doesn't even see you, and the profiler won't necessarily pick you up even if the crosshair crosses over the car. Complete 10 of these hacks and you'll be awarded the Hackification Trophy. System Mangler is another quick collectibles trophy that requires you to find all 17 CTOS network hacks. These are timed events where you start the hack and then have around 4 minutes to hack 4 other locations. Overall, very easy. Freeware is obtained after unlocking all skills. This is only possible by getting to level 50, doing a bunch of side missions, and needing to complete 10 chess puzzles, as well as reaching level 3 or 4, I can't remember, on the NVZN Blaster minigame. Then, all you gotta do, spend the skill points. Cruising through these trophies now. White Rabbit Object simply requires you to evade 15 police scans. Best way to start a scan is to make sure you have no wanted level, get out of your car, and fire a few shots in the air. A pedestrian will call the police, and you're off. Geolocated isn't difficult, it's just time consuming. There are 100 marked locations all on the map with a little check mark that you need to quote-unquote check into. It's super easy, just get within range and hit up on your D-pad, you'll get checked in. Do this 100 times, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, there's your trophy. Throughout the game, you're going to be inundated with these randomly appearing fixer contracts. They'll appear all the time. These are little side missions that give you money and experience, but more importantly, they have a trophy attached to them. Completing 40 of these contracts will reward you with the end of the line trophy. Alright, I know you guys have been waiting for it. Let's talk about one of the 2 most notorious trophies in this game. Disk Space Full. Whoever made this trophy is not only sadistic, but whatever designer they brought on to actually implement this plan also has a special place next to the devil's side. So, what exactly is this trophy and why do we all hate it? Disk Space Full requires you to use an app on your in-game phone called Song Sneak. There are 23 songs in total that you need to find. 3 of these songs are acquired after certain main missions, and the rest need to be just found during free roam. Most of these can be found in buildings playing on the speaker, or can be found by scanning random people. But there are 3 songs that can only be acquired by profiling random people, and it is completely 100% freaking random if/when they show up. Now, there are guides online that claim to help, and for the most part, they actually do. But when it comes to these last 3 God's-forsaken songs, when I tell you it took me 2 real-life human days to find these songs, I mean it took me 2 real-life people days to find these damn songs. Oh, I hated this trophy so much. But don't worry, the worst has yet to come.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm sitting down.
But before we get into my personal hell, let's talk about the Social Lubricant Trophy. There are 3 individuals on the map that you have to beat in drinking games. These are really easy, truth be told. Each player has 10 levels, and you just gotta beat each player's 10th level. Do that, get the trophy. This final trophy before the almighty hated one, because of course it took me the longest to get that one, is known as Road Rage. There are 18 criminal convoys. They work pretty easily. You have to stop a convoy and either knock out the target or kill them. It's the last convoy that's interesting. The mission name is Requiescat in Pace, which would be a fun Easter egg to the Assassin's Creed series, if you weren't literally hunting down Olivier Garnion, who was the head of the Abstergo building while you were playing Black Flag. So this, in my head, officially ties the Watchdog games to the Assassin's Creed ones, meaning doing this platinum really just continues the entirety of my Assassin's Creed platinums. It's a stretch, but whatever. In any case, this is Trophy 38. Let's talk some bullshit. Okay, so I've been alluding to it all video. What is the worst trophy in Watch Dogs? Traced. It's traced. This trophy sucks in 2024. Look, before I rant, let me explain what has to happen. You have to be successfully tailed 5 times. This probably wasn't the worst thing 10 years ago when the game first came out, but now it's just so much more difficult. Before we even talk about that, who the hell makes a trophy that requires you to lose? Seriously, you have to lose 5 times and then you get the trophy. Not only that, it's completely based on somebody else's actions and the whim of Ubisoft servers. Seriously, what the heck type of hot dog water bullshit is that? Why am I being rewarded for losing? It took me, I kid you not, 4 real-life people days to obtain this trophy. I followed all the guides I could. I reset my online status. I did a bunch of tailing missions. I literally left my PS5 4 hours just hoping people would tail while I went off and did my own thing. Nothing worked, and I didn't have any friends who had the game, so I couldn't even boost that way. Until my knight in shining armor, my absolute angel of a human being, no snitching. I finally got so fed up, I went on Reddit to see if anybody else had these problems, and I found this random thread where the last person to post was a day ago. So I thought, fuck it, why not? And I posted saying I still needed help. This absolute beast of a human being shot me a message and asked if I still needed help. I did. We log on, and nothing. For whatever reason, he couldn't, connect to me, even though we both reset our games, online status, etc., whatever. I was pretty defeated at that point, but thank them nonetheless for their help. That same day in the evening, No Snitchin' shoots me another message on Reddit and asks if I had gotten the trophy. I had not, and he said he was willing to pop back on and try it out a second time. And by the grace of the Ubisoft servers, it actually freaking worked, and I got the trophy. Literally, without No Snitchin', I don't think I'd have had the patience to keep going. This whole video and platinum trophy was saved and goes out to them. Thank you so much for doing this. An absolute just mega thank you. I cannot thank you enough. All right, let's move on. And with that, no introduction is needed. We are awarded the Platinum Trophy for the first Watch Dogs. Again, huge thank you to No Snitchin' for making that last trophy possible, and huge shout out to all of you who watch these videos. I really did enjoy my time with this game. The story was interesting, the gameplay was tight, and overall, it was just a very enjoyable experience. Would I pay full price for this game? No, but I also wouldn't pay full price for any decade-old game. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. Assuming everything went well, this video should be going out with Constantine's Adventure Episode 7. If not, then it'll be coming out within the next day or 2. I have so many other games in the pipeline, but if you have any suggestions on what you would like to see next, just let me know down in the comments below. Please remember to like and hit the little subscribe button so you don't miss a video. Thank you all again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.